We're calling attention to because of the way the seeds are put together. And mouthpiece out. But there was the little left hook and the escape. Navy, another number one seed falls, which is what we've been calling attention to.
You see, what you're looking at right now is 1-2s, 1-2-3s. And when a fighter is hitting you with 2 punches back to back, like there's a warning sign when a person hits you that you're in the wrong position. And so what this is due to is people lack that true essence of defense. They really don't understand defense. And we're finding this more often as you go higher up into levels of competition. First, you saw a lot of Golden Glove Golden Glove local events, and you saw so much success from the local teams. And then you start seeing more of the bigger tournaments, the regionals, and then POW. And then you start seeing the nationals, and you started to realize that all of that success, it started to dwindle away. And I'm going to explain to you exactly why this is right now. And before we get started, I'd like to introduce myself for everyone who's new to this page. My name is Eric A. Bradley, coach that is, and we teach boxing. And for 4 decades, I've learned from some of the greatest minds in boxing. And in this generation, what I set out to do was to take the information that I learned, put it in a blanket that you could actually understand it, which is the system. And the system is what the predecessors showed that worked. So in 4 Olympic tenures total, there has been a bevy of champions that went on to become professional world champions, and a whole lot of Golden Glove and national and Olympic champions, gold medalists, and all of that came from the one word that I'm going to use today, is system. It's not, I had nothing to do with it. I understood that my knowledge is only my knowledge. Every day I can wake up feeling a different way. I could be biased towards a particular skill training. I could want to train a fighter who's more slick, or I can want to train a knockout puncher. But all of those type athletes are going to run into that day where they run into a system, like date back to Mike Tyson versus Evander Holyfield. He ran into a system. It wasn't Evander Holyfield. Evander Holyfield's from the downline of Archie the Old Mongoose Moore. Go look at his boxing. There is a system there that was developed by the great mind of Archie the Old Mongoose, who knocked out over 140 men. And that wasn't because he had so much power. You know, it's warranted to say that he didn't have a lot of power, but he had a system in which he broke fighters down, and it worked over and over and over again. So today what you're finding is these athletes are being trained by trainers. They're probably at best being monitored by coaches, but above that, there are no teachers. And so when there are no teachers, then there's going to be a lack thereof what's necessary, which is system. And today I'm going to show you how to go about building a system that will stand the test of time, and at the exact same time, it'll help you really have a different level of comprehension and what happens at the Olympic level. So I'm going to show you a tutorial on the 5 layers of defense that you need. And this demonstration is going to come by way of mitt training. And when you use mitts the proper way, they're fine. But what's gone wrong with mitt training is people have gotten caught up in the flash, and fighters think that you can carry those type techniques into the boxing ring without developing the muscle memory. What do they know? They're fighters. Trainers are supposed to make it very clear that this isn't something that you just take into the boxing ring. Pop, 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 pop. You don't see a boxing match go that way. But what you do see, and I'm going to give you the pearls, is you do see great fundamental defensive tucks. So what I'm going to show you And for my people over here on Instagram, you're going to see this later. It will stream this evening at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, this entire feed, so you can see exactly what you're not able to see. But what I want you all to understand is that this is just the precipice of developing an athlete the right way. So with this defensive drill, you're going to see block defensive body blocks. In the Olympics, you're seeing these young men not having the ability to defend. Just look at this clip again. Like, this was literally, he hit him with 3 punches.
Another number 1 seed falls, which is what we've been calling attention to because of the way the seeds are put together.
He's out with all 3 punches. 1, 2, and 3. That is
another number 1 seed falls, which is
it's obvious that
what we've been calling attention to because of the way the seeds are put together. Mouthpiece out.
Learning defense. Defense takes.
There was the little left hook and the escape.
Today we're gonna do some defense. That happens because you're not in a system. The system creates the security of obtaining a skill. So I'm going to take 1 second and I'm going to be selfish for a moment, because I'm selfish for your growth and your prosperity, because this thing isn't about me. And any of you who think this is about me being on this stream, that's insane. This is about the future of boxing and the trainers and the fighters that are in charge of their domain. You need to get out of your own way. And how do you do that? You stop relying on waking up in the morning and what we call a fly by night. You're doing what we call, this is the most important thing that we want you guys to realize that's happening. You're being what we call the on the fly trainer. You're picking up stuff from Instagram and YouTube, and you're saying, this is my boxing skills. And you're missing the whole point, right? But how do you not miss the point? It's just like a business, right? You come in, you solve this certain problem, but you have to take the medication long enough for it to go away. If you've ever had strep throat or the flu, the doctor says, take this prescription medicine until it's gone, so that all the antibodies are gone. But this is exactly what's happening in boxing. You see a skill, you do it, you get it, but you don't truly have it in your muscle memory, because it's 3 phases of mastery. A cognitive, which is when it's up here in your mind, you know it, so you're aware of it, but that does not mean you have it in your body. The next one is emotional. That means you're familiar with it. You're totally aware. You can argue it down as if you're a master of it, but you can't call upon it when you need it, because you don't have it in phase 3. And phase 3 is physical mastery. That's Houdini. That's Michael Jordan. That's Floyd Mayweather. That's LeBron James. That's Tom Brady. The guys who master what they did in a manner in which there's no questions. They're going to gold medal. They're going to win world titles. They're going to be legends, and they will be Hall of Famers. And so this is what happens when you have a system. Tom Brady, he came from Belichick's system. Michael Jordan came from Dean Smith's system. Then Phil Jackson's system. Coaches don't win without systems. Every world champion that has won a title came from a system. 3 generations minimal. Floyd came from the Mayweather downline. It's 3 generations, not just him. Then you look at people like George Foreman. He came from the Archie Moore downline. Evander Holyfield, Tommy Brooks stayed with Archie Moore, lived with him in his house to learn from him. And he taught that stuff to Evander. And George Benton, also from that same downline, that East Coast downline of elite level systems, not trainers, not skills. So I hope this word is really meaning a little bit more to you, because when you break down the word system, the system that I speak to
is something that you do every single day the exact same way. Boom, that's a system. And that's what this is. And let me show you. Mid training. This is what some of you think of as mid training,
We're gonna go
right?
back to boxing on the
This
outside
is
because I
Floyd
feel like
speaking specifically to some mid training stuff. Uh, but mitts is more than just pop, pop, pop. This is a mid system. This is a mid system on knowing all of the steps that it takes to create knockout level hits, punches, punch combinations. So every page you can take one of these, master it forever, and you'll be known as an absolute knockout artist. That's a fact because this is a knockout system. This is the kind of method that a guy like Archie Moore would use. The difference was he wasn't selling the book, but he did train guys like Iceman, John Scully from across the country with letters, writing them and telling them, just like I did, write the program, follow the program. Iceman became a champion. Iceman became a legend. Iceman is a Hall of Famer. Iceman shared the ESPN board with me for our squad over at ESPN, the Insider. So we've been stable mates. That's what a system does. This is footwork, right?
What's the program Master Boxing mean?
Well, the program to master boxing to me is it means more than boxing. You get a lot of structure, a lot of discipline that comes along with the master boxing program. You get a lot of tutorial, a lot of knowledge, education from our coach, Eric Bradley. It's a positive environment to be in. We got a bunch of good teammates. Everybody train hard. We all motivate one another. Overall, I would say master boxing. It's a great program for building up oneself in other ways than just boxing. Learn a lot of business in master boxing. You learn accountability with being in master boxing. You learn a lot. I can't put it in but so many words, but with master boxing program, I've learned a lot. I've learned more than what I thought I knew. For all those that want to learn more than just how to throw a jab or a hook or uppercut, if you want to learn about yourself, if you want to learn about boxing in its entirety, I would say give Coach Eric Bradley a call, sign up. If you don't, then you can take what you learned in the matter and the amount of hours that you were present with Coach Bradley. Other than that, everybody be blessed. Look out for Puda Paul.
But this isn't footwork programs that we took from Instagram. Instagram wasn't even around when this guide was created. This footwork, this is a system. This is, you do this every single day, the exact same way. Period. Point blank, right? This is a heavy bag system. And this is when you start to transfer into professional punching power levels. You're a prize fighter now. You're going out of the amateurs or you're going into the Olympics and you got to hit guys. You can't just punch them. You got to hit them. They got to be hit when you hit them. And so this is the techniques that go behind that. Understanding the dexterity of the body, building it up, the bone density, knowing how to really sit down, transfer your weight, and create force. This is just not talk. This is what really happens when you are developing in a system. That's why, hence, Emmanuel Stewart was an absolute genius when it came down to building his athletes up. It wasn't Emmanuel Stewart, it was the system. Once you took the time to create the system, hopefully you got it from a downline because the people who are winning now are from systems. A talent can get you so far, but then you're going to run into a system. Ask Mike Tyson, ask Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder ran into Sugar Hill's system, which was Emmanuel Stewart's system. So he couldn't, even power couldn't get him through that, right? This is the physical training system of how you train a person in all phases, all walks. This breaks down the entire human body so that you can become, this is the ultimate athlete program. No one owns this, right? You have to get to a particular level in our school in order to acquire that. If you got that, you're already going into the Hall of Fame before you get that book. Because if you've gotten that far, then that means you understand more. Guess what you don't know? The variation of running, building your VO2 max. That is how much oxygen goes into your body and funnels through oxygen through the blood per liter in a minute of time. How many liters liters of oxygen can your body siphon? And that is what we call VO2. A supreme athlete, average athlete, a person that's just active, and a person that's low on the totem pole when it comes down to health and wellness and their fitness. They all are at different levels, right? They're all at different levels. That's the bottom line. The bottom line is this: someone who's supreme like a Michael Jordan can pump 52 liters in a minute of oxygen through his blood. That's a running guide. This teaches you how to actually run. And I'm from the world of sports performance, recruited by the NFL, flown in, private plane, limousine, to smooth me to death to bring me in, because that's the level I operate on. All right. This running system is all you'll ever need, because I understand the pros and cons of what you don't need to do and what you need to do. And most of you are overtraining because you don't understand how to manage your weight, right? Because you don't have a system. This program alone, this is what you call the muscle memory guide. This is the 52 weeks guide that everybody's been downloading, ordering by typing the word skills, going to their DMs, and then basically clicking in and ordering it from there. This is how you develop muscle memory. 12 weeks per circuit, and you will never forget stuff in the ring again, because a lot of you are forgetting your defense. Like this young man here on the screen, he's forgetting his defense. And now you're in the ring, you got all the skills. Now you need to learn the art of sparring, which was in the 2020 Olympics. And so we got the opportunity to get this in with Coach Lopez. So special shouts out to Coach Lopez, who was in the 2020 coaching Olympics. And, you know, we medaled there. And this was behind it. It had carried through generations and generations. And we made sure you had every facet, every scenario that you'll face: swollen eye, bleeding, cut lip, busted nose, low blows, you know, getting hit behind the head, rabbit punches, everything, how to deal with it, how to deal with getting knocked down, how many rounds that you actually need to spar so you're not overtraining or undertraining. All of that is in here. It's called the scenarios. All people had to do in order for that, if you're developing athletes right now, is type the word smoke. And that takes you directly to the page once you go into your your DMs, and you check it. And all you're going to find is that these kind of programs are systems. You'll never change the way you train. That's going to take you through the amateurs, up into the higher levels of the nationals, through to the Olympics, World Series of Boxing, if you choose that route, which is with no headgear, and then pros. And this is how you do exactly what I've been doing every single week, which is building a business structure around your training business so that you can actually be a successful trainer, right? This is the business structure. And it also encompasses really showing those guys how to not just systemize the boxing, but systemize the content that you put out, because people need to see you so you'll have leverage when you negotiate your deals with Eddie Hearn, with Matchroom Boxing, with PBC. You need leverage. You need to say, I can fill up arena. I got 1.2 million people following me, so I want the Ryan Garcia deal. I want the Canelo deal. I don't want to be like you guys are doing Benavidez. I don't want to be looked at and frowned upon like I'm not that guy when you are that guy. That's what's happening with this game, right? Do you really have your business, your training business? Is it going right? Because I've been looking at all of you guys' social media that message me. I see nobody that's doing it right. Nobody, and nobody who's monetizing your life. Athletes right now could be monetizing. Those athletes that are doing those deals in the Olympics, those boxers that are doing these commercials, how many of them is it? Very few, because they don't know how to. But you look at Simone Biles, she's on everything because she has people who have taught her how to operate her skills as a gymnast, as a business. So she's on every commercial. You'll see her all day today. You know, all the same people, because you're not learning. I'm the voice for boxing.
What does that mean? That his program takes the time to show you how to promote yourself, how to become noticed, how to get people paying attention to you. How is that different from anything you've ever been a part of?
Oh, it's truly something big for me, because no other boxing gym teaches that. Like, teach you that you are a brand and that you need to promote and learn how to get yourself out there and show people that you really can work.
That's awesome. Anything else, Robert?
Only thing else I got to say is, come on to Master Boxing Academy. You truly will learn a lot.
I'm supposed to teach you how to go out there and handle that, show you how to create the content that you need to create so your page isn't whack. And your page is whack. And I'm just going to be honest. Don't let your page be whack. You teach boxing or you in boxing, your page is supposed to be blazing hot, well thought through and systemized. The operative word is system. That's what I'm doing. I'm here to teach you how to build your system so you're not looking like this guy. Here's the bobs and weave circuit that this guy literally,
for a medal at welterweight.
look here.
Every
He's
time on the escape, Jones is landing on these escapes.
Punches, but he can't land
It's
punches
1-2
because
and out.
this guy actually knows how
one-way
to
traffic
escape
through
punches.
2 rounds.
He parries punches, he defends punches, he deflects punches, he slips punches, he's weaving punches. And this tutorial here, I'm only going to let it run for 30 seconds, so be patient. But this is how it looks.
And then under that, come up under with the rope. That is called weave. So we're gonna slip, bomb, and then come back under and weave. Using your base, your gate, your trunk line. Nice and strong. Going up under the punch, going directly up under the punch. That's why it's important to develop the boxer legs. So you use your legs a lot. Down and up and around. Getting up under the shots and keeping your eyes looking up so you don't get caught with an uppercut. So we're going to roll again.
And see, from there, you take it into what we call the sequence. And if it's in the sequence format, that means you're going to have something to do after the fact. And that's exactly what you've seen the young man do just now. His name.
In red from the USA,
Amari Jones just had a dominating 3 rounds of just pure boxing science. He's boxing in the system. I don't know what downline he's from, but that's systematic. You know it when you see it.
your overall impression of Master Boxing Academy?
My first overall impression of Master Boxing Academy is a place where you can actually learn to fight instead of going in there and you know, just like many other boxing academies or gyms, they just throw you in the ring. So one thing about Master Boxing, it's a place to actually learn how to fight. So I've been with him for about 8 years now, training. He's showed me a lot of things, not only boxing, but as far as like life situations and how to go about handling myself. Like I said, you're actually learning how to fight. Coach, it's just not about boxing. It's bigger than boxing. It's about life, you know. It's Master Boxing. It's the place to be.
If you want me to show you how to build your system so that you're not just scrolling Instagram trying to become a elite trainer, and just make sure you stay up with us, man. And we keep it simple. This ain't about trying to put things in front of you that ain't gonna help you, because a lot of people come in there and they get our system and they tweak things to their liking and they use it that way.
Sending the Box Thailand, and I teach boxing. I can do this 10 days a week. I love teaching boxing because I get to work with a lot of people from different backgrounds. I help people and coach them to achieve their goals. If it's boxing, then I'm down for it. Either it's box fit personal training, educational boxing, or boxing for fighters. Learning with Master Boxing with Coach Eric Bradley helps me learn my job even more. The Master Boxing system is like a good structure. It's like you're starting in a real school, but it's boxing. They categorize all the skill sets. Like we have all the blocking circuits, we have the slips, we have the roll, all the punch logistic and stuff. And also, you learn how to fight in long range, mid range, and close range.
Our pedigree basically has proven that we've already taken this, and guess what? Over 300 gold medalists or medalists in the amateur ranks using this program, this system, by myself, because my mentors collectively did over 300. Collectively, I did it by myself online since 2014. 2015, it really started going. And since 2016 to now, over 300 people globally have won amateur titles using this system. And over 65% of them had no experience in boxing. So you tell me, is that lineage or is that some guy just guessing? But the bottom line is, it's exactly what you think it is. It's a system. It's not me. It's the system. It's not Apple. It's the system.
I ain't gonna lie, the other trainers in my gym, they're a bunch of stiffs, if I'm being real about it. These guys know their stuff. I want to be substance because when I came in, I considered myself, someone boxing 12 years as having substance. But TSOB's allowed me to articulate the fundamentals in a myriad of ways that I didn't have before. That's the biggest thing, man. I'm about the fundamentals, and it's been noticed by managers, people that come in, clients, even the other trainers, man. My manager has said on several occasions, I'm the best trainer you got. And I'm only there part-time. For the first time, probably about a month ago, man, I really said, man, I could do this. I could actually own my own business, whatever niche that may be. I could own my own business as long as it's got something to do with coaching boxing, or teaching boxing, fitness, and boxing, and doing it in a unique way. For the first time, man, I was like, man, I could do this.
Now, have you committed to a system? Because if you haven't, and you want me to teach you how to have this thing in 3 minutes, type school and go to your DMs right now. And what you're going to find there is the button that opens up the website. And that's where you enroll. From the moment you see this video to the moment that you open up that page, your 3 minutes from going from what level you're operating on now to an entirely different level and operating in a system.
The way that you put things, you're like, well, shit, why didn't I get that? You know what I mean? Because you lay it out like a nice freeway, you know? Like, all I got to do is pop on this freeway and read the signs. Got a lot of that knowledge, and you just like streamline it and make it so much easier to manage and do.
The same way Emmanuel Stewart did. So if that's you, type school. You can do it down in the comment boxes below, or you can do it in the DMs. It doesn't matter. The only thing we want for you guys is not to be one of those guys that are getting the opportunity to fight in the Olympic Games and you come up short with your athlete because you're thinking it's about
another number one seed falls, which
you
is
really don't understand how to put
we've
together.
been calling attention to because of the way the seeds are put together. Mouthpiece out. There was
Pop. A guy worked his whole life to get there, and as the trainer, you didn't develop what he needed to be developed. So let's not go into that next road being that way. What in the hell you think this is, man? This is not a democracy when it comes down to boxing. You gotta follow the process. You cannot allow your guy to go out there at the biggest moment of his life at the highest level of boxing and get blowed away 3 rounds to nothing and getting hit with 1-2s hard as the guy can punch, and then 1-2-3s, step around off the pivot and then eat double jabs. That's 5 straight punches. The guy has no chance to catch up. If that's what you have, a man, we call that having them caught up in your science. And if you're a trainer, you know what that means, right? The thing is, that's what our whole system is built off of: hitting and not getting hit, taking you into deep water and drowning you, making sure that no matter what you bring, it's not going to be enough, stripping you of your greatest asset and making you fight with less, and then bringing you to that point where you have to simply fight in our science. That's what you're getting into. So special shouts out to all of the guys who register in the past week. We're looking forward to having you. Well, one of you guys, I think it was Amari. I think that's your name. You sent me the screenshot of you studying. When you get into it, it's going to be nothing but you're going to be like a kid in a candy store.
If you are a brand new coach starting out, if you are a coach that already has a program, is doing well, if you are a professional coach, if you are at the top of your pinnacle, I've tried to always have a white belt mentality when it comes to learning. And the biggest thing I think about I like about it is the agenda. Like, every day of the week, if you train Monday through Friday or Monday through Sunday, you have a plan. Now, you can always pivot off and interject your own things through your programs you already have in place, but you have a very structured base to work off of. Every day of the week is planned. You can't put a price on it. Coach Bradley and his team are always available. And to any coach that is thinking about diving into the program, I strongly suggest and give a top recommendation. Do it. Don't hold back. Don't wait. Dive in. And start seeing your business grow, start seeing your knowledge grow. And again, just thank you, Coach Bradley and your team and the School of Boxing.
That's for sure. But I thought this was also cute. One of the most popular celebrities right now, her child is actually in boxing. Cardi B.
Going to my son's boxing class. I've been dying to go to his class and I never had the time. So I'm finally going. I'm excited. Let's go wave.
That's funny. Cardi B talking about she's going to her son's boxing class. So with that being said, it's a great time in the sport of boxing. So that's all we got right now. Like I said, we're here to help you guys. Hopefully that was something that gave you some very strong wisdom and it allowed you to really, take the bulls by the horn moving forward and doing something for your career now that's going to change it. Because really, do you really have this thing buttoned up? Because I know when I was getting up, before I got it buttoned up, I was anxious every morning. Every time it was time to go train, I wanted to do it, but I didn't have my stuff together. I didn't know what I was going to do. Then I kept getting to a point where I was running out of things that I wanted to do, or was I doing too much of one thing? And so it was a constant rat race. So if you don't want to be in that rat race anymore and you want to take your business and turn it into something serious, then make sure that you just simply type school and don't look back. 3 minutes away from changing your life from today moving forward. That's all it takes, because this is an Olympic level stuff. If you're operating at the Olympic level or heading that way, this is that. This takes you there. So be blessed, be safe, continue to watch the games. Let's go USA. And wherever you from, good luck to your athletes. Just know one thing: it ain't nothing until it's in the system. Don't let your ego take you out of that mindset, and enjoy the rest of the Olympics. And hopefully you guys are going to tune in and watch. We show you how to be very, very calculated in creating your content for yourself, the kind that makes you money, so that your programs can also be funded. And you can teach your athletes something more than just throwing the jab and ducking.
Coach, I subscribed. I'm in the school, and I took a quick little browse through it, and I can already say it's worth the money. I'm already happy. I haven't even gone through it.
Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard, brother. Welcome aboard.
Man. Take this game as a system and buy into it. And that's all. That's when things change. So I'm out of here. Be blessed. Let's go. Type school. And I'll see you in the Winner Circle group over on Facebook to take you to the next level. So bye. So long. Follow for more. So long.
Hey, I said, where my money, man?